Well, graduation time coming up for a lot of students, and for college students, the job market is still very difficult out there for new grads. If you're one of those folks, or even if you just know someone who's about to get out of school, you need to hear what our next guest has to say. Ann Brown is the co-author of a new book called Some Assembly Required, a networking guide for graduates. She also has a website, gradtogreat.com, and she joins us this morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Visiting us from Chicago, so I hope you're getting to enjoy the nice weather.
Absolutely. I am loving the weather out here. It's fantastic.
Well, yes, that's one of the reasons why folks live out here, that's for sure. And for new grads out here, or folks who are about to graduate, they probably like to stay in Arizona, but unfortunately sometimes you got to follow where the job is, right?
Absolutely, especially in this market right now. You have to go where the jobs are.
What is your, would you say, is your one biggest piece of advice for students out there who are about to graduate?
Network.
Network.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The job market right now, as everybody knows, is tough. And you are 35 times more likely to find a job networking than you are through your traditional job search methods like online job postings and the classifieds and what have you.
Online is probably the biggest mode that a lot of people use right now because you think it's all there.
It is, and it's the biggest misconception that that's where you're going to find your job. You know, they think because you can sit in front of your computer, you have all of your resume materials and everything, that posting as many resumes as you can get online is going to increase your chances of finding a job, and that's just not true.
You need to network. So how do you start? What do you build on?
Well, the first thing you need to do definitely is to just get out there and realize networking is really nothing more than building relationships.
Okay.
So you need to get out and start talking to people, whether that's, you know, your family, your peers in your school, professors, anybody, and if you can tell them what type of job you're looking for, just start talking. You want to start putting your personal branding materials together, your resume, your business cards, you know, fill out your LinkedIn profile. Make sure all of your material is consistent, and you want to be preparing that. The next thing you want to do too is you really want to come up with a networking plan and set some networking goals. And that does a couple of things. That builds confidence. You know, if you can say, I want to talk to maybe 5 new people this week, and then you reach that goal, that helps a new graduate become a little bit more confident as they get out there.
And networking is, of course, all building about building relationships. So,
it is.
You know, a lot of us may find that difficult to do, where you're like, what do you mean you just, you know, become friends with somebody? But that's not really necessarily what we're talking about.
No, it's getting out there and sharing what it is that you're all about. What are you looking for? Absolutely. And for graduates, a lot of that is what they're looking for in a job. You know, what are they really interested in doing? Is it marketing? Is it engineering? So they want to get out and start talking to people about where their interests are, and realizing that networking is also, it's a two-way street. You know, as much as you're out there talking about what it is you want to be doing, you also really want to be listening to what people are telling you, because a lot of times people are happy to give you information and share things with you. But you just want to make sure that you want to give something back to them as well, whether that's your appreciation, or, you know, a lot of times graduates can be very good with the social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter, like you and Ryan were just talking about. So graduates can tend to be very good with those types of things, and more experienced professionals sometimes want tips and stuff. So
and for a new grad, I imagine networking is different than someone who's already been out in the field in the workforce, because of the connections they've already made. It's a different kind of folks that they've connected with.
Well, absolutely, and your more experienced professionals, you know, who have been in an industry for several years, they know which organizations to go to a lot of times, or they're familiar with where to go, and graduates often aren't. So in our book, we talk a lot about different places that they can go to start networking, and we give them a lot of
Give me an example.
Tips. Well, your alumni association.
Oh,
a lot of times graduates, they really don't know where to start, and calling up your college and finding out where the next alumni association meeting, that's a great way to get your foot in the door.
That's definitely great advice. I remember when I was looking for my first job, it came up, you know, and I'm like, oh, I'm a grad from there, I'm a grad for there, and you build that instant connection, which then you can build upon.
Well, exactly,
right?
And when you're building relationships, if you already have something in common, that just, it's an easy step.
Okay, and is there anything, would you say, one thing that a new grad should avoid when it comes to networking or looking for that first job?
Avoiding networking is the biggest no-no. You have to get out there and start networking.
Okay. Very good. All right, where can folks get a hold of your book?
The book is available on Amazon.com, at any Borders and Barnes & Noble, and at any local bookstore. They should be able to order it if it's not in stock.
Okay, again, the book is called Some Assembly Required, a Networking Guide for Graduates. And we'll have a link also to her website on azfamily.com. Thank you so much, Ann, for joining us.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend here in the Valley.
Thank you, I will.
All right, although we're getting it windy, so we might take the name of the Windy City from you from Chicago.